I am Stevie, and incoming is Douglas. Say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hashtag.
There was a bunch of stuff, last minute stuff to.
Well, we're still trying to figure out. Yeah, we really need to do a. We need to set the. We normally have an alarm.
Yeah.
Did you ever find your phone? You found your phone.
I did.
Can I have a blanket?
Yeah.
We normally set an alarm, which we did not do today or yesterday or the day before that.
Yeah, we're yeah.
And now that we're adding Instagram to the mix, it takes us just a teensy bit longer to set up.
It does. I was going to ask you a question about Instagram.
Okay, well, should we introduce people to the pod or no? Or you want to ask me my Instagram question?
Well, let's ask the Instagram because there's nobody here right now.
Sure.
How do we stream to our individual? Do we have to go on and share it or something?
Oh, we would have to go in and get the.
I could pick up thousands of no, like 8 people on Instagram.
Well, just the more you put on of whatever platform it happens to be. Oh shit. It increases your viewership, and then the more followers you have, it increases your viewership because the viewers are then notified.
Yes.
Like our normal, what do you call those people?
Fans, haters.
The people that subscribe to us on YouTube get a notification. We come up on your newsfeed if you subscribe, and so on and so forth. So we're still figuring it out. It would be good to be able to go live on our Facebooks as well as the TikTok. The hippie to the hip hop, rocking you don't stop, rocking till the bang. I can't say TikTok without busting into that rhyme. In any case, there's 2 people watching. I don't know who they are, but they seem lovely. And Doug Gears joined us on Instagram.
I did.
So there's that.
I'm trying to share it to my own page, and
I don't know how any of that works.
That's send to.
There's so much we're still figuring out, but the bottom line is it's a live interactive podcast, and we do it just about every night, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So if you comment, we pull your comment up on screen, unless you happen to be on Instagram where it doesn't appear that we can bring comments up on screen,
or unless your name and or your comment, which we had the other night. We had somebody that had a name that was not so nice, so we skipped over that comment.
Yeah, so we had to skip their name, and then we had like a kind of racist tirade that I was not willing to be a part of. But we try to keep it positive here, and we do talk about some serious issues, and we try to be as real as possible, and sometimes it goes a little off the rails.
Hey, if anybody's going to say something off the wall, it's going to be us.
Usually, yeah. Well, and I just took the cannabis oil like 45 minutes ago, so it should be kicking in any minute now. And I will be once again in rare form, which is good because if I prepared for the podcast, I generally have like really good content that topics that we can discuss and so forth. Or alternatively, I just get baked and start rambling incoherently. So those are your 2 options. You never know what kind of podcast you're going to get up here, up in this bitch.
You just don't know
with this bitch and this bitch. Men get offended by being called. If I call you a bitch, that's offensive.
Yeah, it's a little offensive.
Well,
I don't know. I
sticks
can't,
and stones may break your bones, but
you know what? Take your words and shove them up your ass.
Only with lube
or a flange.
So, well, I think words. You don't need it doesn't matter if you have a flange because they don't really take up any space.
We'll just put a capital something at the end of the word,
like a capital T on the side.
Yeah, that'll make like a greater than sign. It's
got to be a big T. Not the point. The point is that it's a live interactive podcast, and so if you come here, we are we try to support you in whatever way we can. So if you have a business, if you are just like, hey, I could use a friend or whatever it happens to be, we try to be here.
It is a live podcast, in spite of my wax-like and lifeless looking appearance.
I don't think that is true of you. I don't think that those are true.
I was trying to be a wax statue. I have to have a glazed look at my.
You did a terrible job at it. I don't even know what to do with you.
Wax Doug.
I would like to. We had purchased.
We did.
I purchased for Doug as a surprise for Christmas, even though we don't typically do Christmas presents, a Nintendo Switch. My husband wanted to be able to play Mario Kart with his son, Nolan, who you may be familiar with because he's been on the pod many times.
And it's the best video game ever developed. Thank you.
I don't know about that. Makes me queasy as fuck. But that's not the point. I bought my husband a Switch, And we bought Super Mario Wonder with it, just thinking like, oh, like, well, let's get a game that we could play together. It's the new Mario, whatever. That shit is bananas.
It's
If
a
you
work of art.
are old,
this game.
if you are old like us,
Mm.
you need to go buy, like, if you're into old school Mario, all the way through Wii, I guess, because I haven't played a lot of them, but I highly recommend getting yourself Super Mario Wonder and maybe like some mushrooms.
It's trippy. It's a
it's
trippy
really
situation.
Craziness. Doug does not imbibe in any way, shape, or form, but I do. And so, yeah, it's a good time. Although I haven't played Baked, I feel like it might be a little overwhelming for me.
Mm.
But that game is really well done. It's like stuff that you just can't even imagine. And there's less, like, I feel like less anxiety for the most part when I play that.
Well,
one,
there's
as
less
opposed to the
stuff
individual
trying
games.
to kill you.
Maybe there's less, maybe that kills you. I don't know, but
maybe it's a kinder, gentler Mario Brothers.
Side note, OG Lesby Trace has said thank you to you for going to the post office for her.
Oh, nice.
So I guess, I don't know, would you have anything that you specifically wanted to talk about today?
That I want to talk about today. It is Wednesday.
That's it.
Yeah.
Tracy, you need to have your head examined. She says, hello, some of my favorite people. Tracy, OG Lesby, Master Hater.
I want to know who the rest of your favorite people are. Do we know any of them? Or
well, like, they don't all watch the podcast. Some of them watch sometimes.
Well,
some
I
of them
want
don't.
I want to know who's
Trace
else
is
on
one of
that
my
list
favorite
and
people.
see what I can do to go up.
Zach, my little chiropractor friend. You.
Oh, are these your favorite people?
Oh, is that what you were asking?
Well, I was thinking. Well, I know what yours are, but I was wondering what Tracy's
favorite people are. Oh,
yeah, I'm figuring
she just called us hump day. Whether it's going to be a hump day or not remains to be seen. I'll tell you right now. A lot of time after the podcast, Doug goes in and needs to decompress, and by the time he comes to bed, I'm asleep. So it may or may not be a hump.
But in the meantime, you sent me about 8 recipes on TikTok.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there by myself thinking, wow, wouldn't it be nice if my husband was here? But you're off doing something else that is more important than me.
There's nothing more
marital
than you.
Hate. Yeah, it's not. And Trace says Becky is number one. To those of you who don't know, Becky is her wife. They've been together since they were children, which is why we call them the OG lesbians. Of course, she's number one.
There was some naughtiness going on.
It's just because you met
the young
first.
Ladies.
I would be your number one if you met me first.
I'm gonna be your number one.
Did you see that?
We just did like the night at the Roxbury right there. What are you doing?
Electric cars scare the shit out of me. They're so fucking weird. There's an electric car that just like stopped for no apparent reason.
Yeah. This could get dicey.
It gets dicey anytime somebody drives an electric car. Those things are creepy.
People stop by your house.
They just stop.
Just stop.
For no fucking reason.
I don't know.
In any case,
the person that was supposed to stop there, our pool guy, it's parked out front today. It was a new guy. He didn't know where to park.
Confused. They don't know what to fucking do with themselves. All right, let me ask you a legitimate question.
Okay, bring it.
Could you come if someone just licked your asshole?
No.
And also viewers,
yeah,
you couldn't? No. I think you could.
Nope.
I think you could.
I don't think so. He's gone.
He
gone.
That's so creepy.
Yeah.
These just electric cars. It doesn't make a fucking sound.
Electric guys that you.
All right. Well, Doug can't, but I definitely could. I probably have. Yeah, I don't know, but that's something I wrote a note about. What do you think, boys and girls?
I don't think so.
I could. I can come to anything.
Tracy needs more than an asshole lick.
Like, what about a thorough asshole licking? Like, how thorough does it have to be in order for you to?
Well, does it matter if it's a dog or a human or an anteater or something like that?
I think that it's not cheating if it's your dog.
What about if it's your anteater?
If you just heard that quote, it's not cheating, it's your dog, and you didn't have a little chuckle for yourself, it's probably because you haven't seen the movie Road Trip, which is hilarious, and you should see it.
It's a good film. Film. All right. Well, okay. Well, sorry you're so hard to please, Tracy.
Listen, you got off easy. You got off easy. I get off easy, and that therefore you get off easy. Because I don't require a tremendous amount of effort. But I appreciate all the effort you do.
Well, I do things. Road Trip is a good movie.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. That's a good one. Like every so often, you got to watch that movie.
Another good movie that Doug did not think was a good movie, but he has.
No, I thought that was a good movie.
No.
The other one.
Freddy Got Fingered.
Freddy Got Fingered is dumb, but
and
yet
hilarious.
Uses the Sex Pistols and
Road Trip. Freddy Got Fingered. Hilarious movies.
Yeah.
Definitely under what's the word I'm looking for? Underrated films that have not gotten there.
The thing about Road Trip, it feels like one of those good 80s like teen comedies, like the John Hughes movies. That's they're See, right? Tracy says Freddy Got Fingered is stupid funny. It's stupid funny, but it's still funny,
I suppose.
Yeah, it's stupid funny. Yeah, absolutely. My favorite movie, like from the 80s, I think The Sure Thing was a great movie. Like a lot of those like 80s comedies. Actually, we just watched a little snippet on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and that's fantastic. That's not really a teen movie, but
I believe that Freddy Got Fingered was, well, maybe it was a teen movie, but Tracy said Freddy Got Fingered is stupid funny.
Stupid funny, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
no, well, I mean, Rip Torn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that it? It's Rip Torn?
Freddy was fingered, and he got taken. Did he get put into foster care?
He was like
or something?
a grown man, and they put him in like foster care. It's pretty much one of the funniest movies ever. And what's the name of the chick that's in it?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna look it up. So she's paralyzed, and she's paralyzed, so she can't feel much. So she has this cane. She asks him to smack her in the legs with it, and it makes her get off. So he's smacking her in the legs, and she's like, and finally he just hauls out and smacks her in the face. And he's like,
he didn't get the concept.
On an unrelated note, IMDb, which I'm a big fan of IMDb. If you're not familiar with it, it's fantastic. If you're somebody like me that needs to know who's in movies or trivia about movies and shit like that, like I cannot watch something on television without checking IMDb. So I must have checked something about Body of Evidence, and it asked me how I would rate
Body of Evidence was good.
Body of Evidence.
That was very good.
I love that goddamn movie. And I was so funny because when I was in high school, I went to see it with like two of my guy friends. But I had all guy friends, and my stepmom was like completely horrified. She's like, "You can't go see this with a bunch of guys." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's nothing sexual about seeing it with your guy friends, but it is a very sexually charged film.
It's sexually charged.
Okay.
It's charged.
Well, I mean, it's graphic. Right. So it's Tom Green, Rip Torn.
2001.
Apparently there's deleted scenes, which I think I definitely need to see.
Anthony Michael Hall was in it.
Marissa Coughlan.
Never heard of her.
Marissa Coughlan, but she's like got one of those faces. It's like super familiar.
She looks like Melissa Joan Hart.
She was in Super Troopers. Oh, she played Ursula in Super Troopers, and she was amazing in Super Troopers.
I don't know. I've seen it a million times. I'm not that familiar with it. Gary says, Happy holidays to you, sir. Hope you and yours had the
David.
It's Gary.
Oh, Gary's here now too.
Yeah,
hey,
Gary's
Gary,
here. Yeah, Dave got in, and now Gary. I would just kind of.
Here's the thing: when we on our screen, we see your comments as they pop up, whichever platform you're on. But if we click on them, they go gray. If they even roll over on our cursor, so I saw David's comment. I saw another comment. I didn't see you there, Gary.
So Dave, Gary, Tracy,
they're three most lovely people, and we hope you all had a happy holiday.
They're all good. We had a somewhat happy holiday, right? It was pretty low key.
Yeah, but we've had podcasts since the holiday, right? We did nothing.
Yeah, we did.
I felt like shit. Yeah. So and we did nothing.
Mm.
We did a little bit on Saturday. We went to Costco.
Oh, went to Costco. That's our big day out right there, baby.
Costco and Trader Joe's brought the neighbors their little trampoline.
Yep.
And then and then what? Yesterday was back to work.
Yeah, and we were gonna go do something, but then we're like,
Well, on Sunday I didn't feel. Monday I didn't feel well, and it was raining all day, so it wasn't like we were going kayaking. But I'm really getting kayak itchy because we got kayaks here.
Itchy.
We have kayaks here.
If I don't clean them out before you use them, you're gonna get kayak itchy. There's a bunch of stuff in there. Leaves
don't make you itchy.
Well, it depends what kind of leaf.
We were talking about films.
Okay, films.
And I was saying that
Freddy
IMDb
Got Fingered
is a great tool. Freddy Got Fingered is a fantastic movie, but again, led us down the rabbit hole of Super Troopers, which is also a fantastic movie. but some of the people, fucking Anthony Michael Hall is in Freddy Got Fingered before it was at a time where like he still looked like Anthony Michael Hall. Like now he looks like if you saw the new Halloween movie, he looks a lot different. But fucking Tom Green and the mother, Julie Haggerty.
I think she in Airplane. Is that the same girl that was in Airplane?
I believe she was.
Yeah, she was.
If I'm not mistaken, she was in Airplane and Airplane 2.
Airplane 2.
But she was
Electric
fantastic.
Boogaloo.
It's a these are all films that we recommend.
Yeah,
I understand that the Academy would recommend you some sort of like story of like some
tragedy. They would like these art films. You
want to watch a fucking tragedy, just tune into this podcast and you can look at the two of us. Why would you watch a sad and depressing movie? It's actually funny because like the year that Wolf of Wall Street came out, which we love that movie. I think I saw it in the theater like 3-4 times.
Yeah, at least.
And then we bought it the day it came out, and it was just like, it's funny even though it's like not funny, but it's really
Goodfellas with stocks instead of guns.
It's Goodfellas meets Boiler Room, and Boiler Room is actually the story of
Ted
Belfort,
right?
which a lot of people were familiar with that film. But not so much with but it didn't have a Scorsese behind it.
No.
But Giovanni Ribisi was in it. He was fantastic.
He's good in
Affleck
everything.
Was in it.
That's a guy that's
Vin
good in
Diesel
everything.
Was in it. Vin Diesel was actually great in it.
There's a guy that's I'm not a big fan of, but
you don't
whatever.
have to be a fan of him. A lot of people are not a fan of Vin Diesel. I know somebody got in a confrontation with him on the street in New York City one day. That's not the point. The point is that there's a lot of great films out there. But if invariably something about someone overcoming some tremendous hardship, or that's an art film or foreign film, is gonna like win the Academy Award, and it pisses me off because it's like I go to the movies for entertainment. Like I read books and I'm constantly getting information all the time, trying to learn things, trying to better myself. When I watch a movie, I want to be completely mindless, which is why I've pretty much given up on watching movies, and I only watch bad reality television. But I gotta tell you, we've been watching so much Love After Lockup
that when we go out in the public, we're just like, okay,
we're just basically wondering who's been to prison. No, but like it's the big thing with Love After Lockup is it seems that like first we were like, okay, like the prisoners are like the inmates are the least of our concerns. It's the people that write into them seem to be the nuts ones. And some of them less nuts than others, but like
there's a lot of nuts to go around.
Like if you were going to ask me like, and there's so many of the people that are coming out of prison and they've been scamming people, like tricks as they were, and they should scam them for money. But like they're just nuts. They're just fucking nuts. And so I feel bad about myself.
I have made an observation. Most of the ladies that, how they get into their trouble. The drugs.
I think a lot of people are in prison on drug offenses, and that's kind of an issue.
And then they relapse when they get out.
So I don't.
But the whole process is bad. They go to.
Why? Like I can understand, like if you're like selling drugs, like these people that are caught with illegal firearms and like a bunch of drugs for distribution, I can understand that. But if people are just using themselves and fucking up their own lives, let them. That's their choice. They're adults. It's a free fucking country.
Well, the thing is that even when they get out, they go to these halfway houses, and the halfway houses are riddled with drugs and all this crazy crap.
We know a lot of people that have gone through addiction and
so it's not really set. It's almost set up to like fail.
Is it matter?
Like, you get out and go to this drug haven house and try and get I don't know if they have any counseling or any programs that they like. I don't know.
Usually they have like group meetings and stuff like that. But it's something we've talked about a lot because we both have addiction in our families, and Doug has recently like stopped watching football because it was causing him too much stress. But lo and behold, he keeps fucking watching, and he's like, "Oh yeah, if I was addicted to something, I would never be able to quit."
I would never be able to quit. I don't know how people do it.
So we have so much respect for people that are able to get sober. Indeed. But yeah, I wish there were better plans in place. So I had looked it up, and I believe it was, I've got to check, my brain is mush, so don't correct me on this where I'm wrong, but in Denmark, people are able, that are in prison, they have, it's like, they have their own little house or apartment or condo or studio, whatever the fuck it is. And they have a job and they have responsibilities, and they're able to leave and spend time with their families. And they have like normal lives, because part of what happens when people come out of prison, and I would love to have, I'm not going to call anybody out, but we have friends that have been to prison. I would love to get one of them on the pod and interview them. I don't think it's I don't think that what we're doing is working. I don't know what the recidivism, that's the right word, right?
It's a lot. Yeah, that's
the recidivism.
I know what you're saying.
Recidivism rate is, I don't know what it is in Denmark versus the United States, but I think what we're doing in the United States is not working. And what happens is people come out of prison and they are so traumatized by the prison experience, which, by the way, prison's like basically fucking crime school. But it's so traumatic. So like
that sounds like a good metal
we went
song.
to dinner with, and he had, we go to dinner and he has to sit like where he can see the door, and he's like super regimented and, kind of jumpy and it's rough. And here's the kicker. They're just kind of released. And like one of them, he's like, yeah, my insurance covers therapy 12 sessions a year. Mm. So it's like, well, so we're not really doing anything to support these people. Like, why don't we stop pouring so much goddamn money into fucking putting people behind bars and,
Well, how about people stop doing bad shit?
Yeah, but I'm not talking.
Let's start with that.
But I mean, it would be great. But why don't we have money? Because so much of it's drugs.
Yeah.
So why aren't we putting money into rehabilitation programs for people that want to be rehabilitated?
Yep.
And why aren't we teaching children coping skills in the school system? Like, we should be taking all the time and energy that we put into teaching kids how to fucking fill out a Scantron for a standardized test that's going to teach them to comply in corporate America. Mm-hmm. We should take that energy and put it into teaching kids, I don't know, coping skills, meditation, effective communication,
respect,
and having available, services to people, because we have, the largest mental health facility in the world is the United States prison system.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So, I mean, let's make mental health available, to everybody. Let's make mental health available to everybody. Like, why can't we just take the money that we're putting into prisons? Of course, now, prisons are being run for profit. So there's that. Lisa Johnson's here. Hey, Lisa.
What's up, LJ?
How are you? So that's my little tirade about the prison system in the United States.
Well,
but the people, I get writing to somebody that you knew in prison. I get writing to someone to try to offer companionship to people who are lonely. What I don't get is giving them $80,000 or whatever amount of money happens to be, because believe it or not, people are able to purchase drugs in prison. So there's that. There's that little tirade. So I had some other notes.
Okay. You have some other notes?
Do you have any other notes?
I have a couple of things. Maybe I will share. They're visuals. So go ahead on your notes.
I have one for you.
Yep.
So this actually became a thing between us the other night. So like Doug and I, we both for sure have ADD, but we didn't have the attention span to take the ADD quiz. We did, however, take a test on autism to see if we're on the autism spectrum. And we both took it for ourselves and we took it for each other. And we're both like, nope, not there. Which is funny because I had like an argument with my therapist about it. I'm like, I'm for sure autistic. And she's like, you're not. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I am. She's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, I definitely have ADD. She's like, ADD probably.
Yeah,
but we were like
definitely
ending the call, and I didn't have a chance to make my autism argument that like I'm on the autism spectrum. But I took the quiz and I'm not. So maybe the therapist is right after all.
I think everybody has some autism spectrum stuff.
Absolutely.
And it makes us all awesome.
And but here's the thing about an autism brain just versus like, so people who are on the spectrum tend to not pick up on social cues. It's just kind of how it is. And again, part of the reason why I think, maybe I might be a little bit on the spectrum, because I am oblivious and I say stupid shit all the fucking time, and you people turn in for it. So in any case,
truth.
But then like when I encounter people, like when somebody says something to me that comes across as like rude, like I kind of need to know, like, is that person like on the spectrum? Because if they're on the spectrum, like I'm going to give them a total pass for being rude.
Yeah.
But if they're just a fucking idiot, like if they're just rude, then it's different.
But not all autism people are rude.
No, of course not. But I try, like, I have people in my life that I know, like, like they're not being rude. That's just how they are.
Right.
And so I kind of like, I don't know, not that I want people to wear like a sign, like, hey, like I, say stupid shit, but like, it would be nice. I should come with a warning label for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it would
you
be
should.
nice,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
would be nice if everybody came with like a little instruction manual, like a little, like you could hand it to people.
It's almost like a user agreement. Like, nobody reads the Apple one, but like if you had a user agreement, some crazy shit's gonna come out of my mouth.
There you
or
go.
something like that.
Lisa Johnson says, remember that nut turtle boy from Worcester? He went to jail yesterday. I don't agree that he's a nut. I haven't been following the case very closely.
I don't know a lot about it. So,
but
I know that he got into trouble for something.
Yeah, I don't know what he got into trouble for.
I'll have to look it up.
It's something we would have to spend some time if we wanted to. Namaste712 just joined us on Insta.
That's Namaste.
I think that might be Crystal, but I can't.
What's up, Nama?
And over here we've got there's no perfect brain, so we're all on the spectrum. Well, I think that it's interesting because I have a fair amount of friends that are on the spectrum. Their brains just work different, and sometimes their brains work way better.
Wonderfully amazing.
Like, I love the way some people's brains work. And it's funny because like Doug and I think and see the world so differently. Like, we see it through different eyes. We have different life experiences. Yeah, that's one example. But that doesn't mean that either one of us is wrong. And then by having people in your life whose brains work differently than yours, you're able to grow a little bit. So that's what I try to do. I don't know. That's just something I had.
No, I agree.
I don't know how this came up in topic. Were we having a conversation with Wes the rat guy about this? Who were we talking about ball soothing with recently?
Ball soothing?
Yeah, somebody wanted something soothing for their balls. I can't remember who it was.
I don't know.
Because there's a thing called the testicuzzi.
I don't know. Tell me more about this testicuzzi.
No, you put your testicles in it. It's like a little jacuzzi for your balls. We had a whole conversation about this. Your exact words were, how come I don't have a ball jacuzzi?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now.
Who the fuck were we talking to about this?
I don't know.
I was in the living room. You were standing on the right-hand side. I think it was Wes the rat guy.
Could have been Wes the rat guy.
I don't know, but you should do whatever you like to soothe your balls because, there you go.
Soothe them.
Stacy is kind of like a chatty doll who pulls the string to wind her up. I pretty much never stop talking.
Yeah, never. Yeah, no.
Even in my sleep, it's not good.
It's like the Chucky doll. You take the batteries out, it still goes. It just keeps going.
Hey, I'm trying to make this all interesting. LOL. Well, we appreciate your thought. And yeah,
somebody's got to.
That's part of like the podcast. Like what I think makes the podcast great is the people who are part of the show.
Yeah, and you never know where it's going to go on a given night.
No, sometimes it gets a little off the rails. And we talked about we've talked about Neil the Seal. I just
Neil the Seal. I don't know if you guys have noticed this Neil the Seal character. He's a seal that just
we already talked about
messes with people, and it's phenomenal. Yeah, you check it if you haven't seen him.
Check it out. He's on TikTok. I don't know if he's made it over to Reels yet. Probably in another 6 months or so, because Reels, it's for old people.
Because you're just so hip.
I don't know that I'm so hip, but I know that I catch everything 6 months before you because you're over on Reels.
So Neil thinks like people are being nice to him. The seals around town or whatever, and he's giant. He's like a giant.
Yeah, we already talked about it on the pod.
So, but now he's taking some liberties around town, like he thinks it's his town.
No, it literally is his town, and like people have to miss work because of this fucking seal is blocking their car in the driveway.
Why are you late for work, Neil? Oh, say no more.
So we I don't know. I have a bunch of just like little. Oh, get this. Costco sold $100 million in gold bars this year.
Gold bars.
So we talked about Costco selling gold bars. A lot of people want gold. They feel like it's a thing. So there you go.
Well, it's the opposite of cryptocurrency, really, if you think about it.
Yeah. Well,
it's physical.
There was a time in I forget, I think it might have been Greece. And there was a time where there was so we've had inflation over the last couple of years, right? Yes. So there's stagnation,
right,
which is where the wages don't rise. There's not more money in the economy, but prices have rose. So there's no value in the currency.
Yep.
But everything costs a shitload of money, and there's scarcity of goods. So there was a time where this happened, where people would like literally be like, "Here is a basket full of money. I would like to buy a loaf of bread," and they would literally be like, "Throw out the money and give me the basket. The basket is worth more than the money." And that's it's interesting because it's one of the things that people are talking about right now with, prices being so high. Mm-hmm. Taxes being so high, and quite frankly, people's incomes haven't caught up with them.
Yet that Sacagawea dollar is worth half a million.
There is a Sacagawea dollar out there that I think it's a 2006 P or something like that.
It's a P. It's from the Denver Mint or something. I don't know. I'm making this up.
But but I had a point before we got on the Sacagawea part. What the fuck was I talking about?
Oh, we were talking about your basket of money, and the basket is worth and inflation.
So in today's economy, I think the best thing that you can be doing is stockpiling goods. Goods that are. So what people are doing, like people buying things at yard sales and reselling them, or making a shitload of money. Yeah. Gary Vee talks about this constantly. He's a brilliant guy. I follow him on all the socials, and he's just a good vibe. You would like him a lot. He's the collectible guy. So he's like, if you're not making $100,000 a year, you should be flipping things at yard sales or thrifting. Or thrifting things. And so, he had done that, and he knows like the markets of different things. He's like, he just went to a tag sale and he was doing Christmas stuff. And he's like, I wish I knew Christmas stuff, because he knows what things go for. Right. Because that's part of the deal. Yeah, you have to know what what things sell for. So, barring else. But there's a lot of money to be had there. And I think, like, for the average person, your savings or even your 401k is not even keeping up with fucking inflation. We moved our savings out of Bank of America. By the way, we had money in Bank of America for a while. Yep. We're getting nothing on it. So now we have it in an account we have two. We have one.
Don't tell people where our bank accounts are. They'll go and hack in
We
there.
have two accounts.
This is Stacy.
You'd have to know a lot more than
I talk a lot. Well.
But we have accounts with two with tell
them where it is.
Two big banks, two large banks that are paying 4.35% interest. And so we have one for business taxes and we have one for our savings account. And because we have to keep money in savings, because sometimes we have to chase a client for 3 months and be like, how are we going to pay our bills?
I'm worried about what these sirens are chasing back here.
Lisa said, always need a side hustle. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's good to have a side hustle, but I think that, like, the fact that we live in a country where people think that they need a side hustle is the problem. Like,
well, you know what the side hustle is all about? I think if the side hustle is all about, well, there's two things: not making enough money at your regular job or easy money on the side. And I think that's because the laziness of people, I think, is causing the side hustle thing to kind of take off. Plus, nobody's working regular jobs. Plus, people lost their jobs with COVID and all this other stuff. So a lot of people are making a living out of a couple side hustles versus one main thing.
Well, that's not really a side hustle by definition. Right, it's like a couple of part-time gigs versus a side hustle. A side hustle is like, I have a job and this is my side hustle. I would argue that
it's like you're my wife and I got my side piece.
Okay.
I know.
I think that
I got no time for that.
I think, if your side hustle is, like we knew a guy who side hustle delivering pizzas to take his family to see the Nutcracker in Boston, which I think is an admirable thing. Certainly respect that. Yeah. But I think you should have a side hustle so that you don't have to work for somebody else, so that you can, for tax shelter, to be independent. Like that's where, I don't know, that's where my goal would be to get our expenses as low as possible, which we've done. Although we just bought a new laptop, so that one laptop's gonna be paid off. We're paying another one. There's like a bajillion sirens in Cape Coral right now. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I hope everybody's okay.
They must be going on veterans. Although I don't know where that is.
Sounds like the entire fucking Cape Coral police, fire, and
we should check our scanner. We need a scanner.
Does anybody know what the hell's going on in Cape Coral? There's a scanner app that's actually
Gang with Chains and Knives.
There's a gang.
That was on 1 Adam 12. Gang with Chains and Knives.
Why are you being crazy?
That was, I remember that from when I was a kid.
Okay. So I don't know. That was just my thought.
Side hustles.
So, we started think of something you want to do. I mean, for me, we're doing the podcast. It's kind of for fun. It would be nice if it made money. Hopefully it will eventually make money. Right. I would love for it to be our main hustle. I would love for us to have like a video go viral.
I'll have to look in the archives.
And, one of these days we'll get down to making little clips, and I've got to post in the Apple store, and we've got to get going on
Spotify. You had a little conversation with the Apple store representative today.
Yeah, if you have a business or the idea of a business, it doesn't even have to be like officially formed with an LLC, and you make regular purchases through Apple, they'll actually give you a discount, and they provide you with like an account manager. So when you go in, you need something, they just fucking have it ready for you. You don't have to wait through the whole mission.
And in our Apple store, you can be chased by a 12-foot gator. True story.
Not anymore. They took the gator away. I hope it had little babies like in remember back. In Lake Placid? There's the big alligator, and then they killed it with the chopper, and they caught the other one. They were taking it away, and lo and behold, there's little baby gators, and
And
Betty White's been letting them nibble at her feet.
She fed a cow. She fed
film,
the big one a cow.
That's another film. I don't know how we're going on movies tonight, but that's another fucking film.
One.
Probably Betty White's best performance, I think.
In a film?
Well,
yeah,
first
probably.
Of all,
yeah,
she's like,
she's good.
She's like, I'm pulling it up. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, she was good in that. That was a fun movie. Technically a cryptozoology movie, but not really, because alligators actually exist, but big ones like that do not exist. Alligators only get to they don't get as big as I had thought. Where crocodiles get pretty big. You would much rather deal with an alligator than a crocodile.
Well, and a crocodile will. Alligators don't give a shit.
Yeah,
crocodiles are like, oh, lunch.
Crocodile's gonna look at you and say, "Yeah, you're not getting out of this situation." Whereas an alligator would be like, how you doing?
All right.
I don't know that we can legally do this, but
you didn't by any chance lead him to the lake blindfolded.
If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it. Thank you.
Not respectful to the officer. It's not respectful to the officer.
I'll sue you!
Go ahead!
You can't take a cow by eminent domain!
Just did! We won't let her get hurt, ma'am!
You're all cocksuckers! I knew it first, I just didn't want to say it.
We know what we're doing! We got a cow hanging from a helicopter.
The woman is fucking brilliant. I love her. She's amazing. And if cursing, cocksucker, motherfucker,
officer, what?
Dick, officer, fuck me. If those are phrases good enough for Betty White, they're good enough for me.
All right.
Yeah. And, I don't know. We forgot to watch one of our favorite holiday films.
Santa Jaws.
We forgot to watch it. We never got around to it because we're always busy
watching. We're watching our trash TV.
But it's now that this Christmas is over. Like I feel like you can't even watch Santa Jaws anymore. It's over.
Yeah.
What is everybody?
Although there is a New Year's movie that is my favorite movie of all time.
Merry New Year!
Merry New Year!
Trading Places.
Trading Places. My favorite movie. I think my favorite movie of all time. Other favorite movies of mine. I think Back to the Future. Catch Me If You Can. I saw The Aviator and loved it. I haven't seen it since. The Aviator was good.
I feel like you need more obscure movie choices.
And
come on, Frankenhooker.
Frankenhooker, Maniac Cop. That was also very good. I do, and one of my other all-time favorites is Hot Tub Time Machine.
He loves Tremors.
Tremors.
I've never seen Tremors.
Oh my God, Tremors is amazing.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Then grabs the truck by the axle.
Don't we have it on DVD somewhere?
Probably.
It's in the trunk of the Volvo. It was for a
while.
I
don't. Yeah.
Who keeps a Tremors DVD in the trunk?
No,
I had
Hot Tub Time Machine in the trunk of my Volvo for some reason.
They were both there.
Lent it to somebody at work or something. But really, I had the Tremors in there. Oh,
yeah.
It's such a good movie.
I don't know.
Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon and the dad from Family Ties was married in the movie to Reba McEntire, and they were survivalists with guns and stuff, and they go out to shoot these things, and it's fantastic. Just
I enjoy
such a
good
great
survivalist.
Great movie.
I do want to where was I had something that it came in my brain and just as quickly went right the fuck out.
I heard a snap and it disappeared.
Didn't really snap, but
Tremors
guns. Movies. Oh, one night on the pod we were taking like everyday normal nice movies and turning them into horror movies. And I thought that was hilarious. We had a good time doing that. Yeah. Because there's just about any movie that if you just change a few little key plot points. Annie's pretty horrifying if you think about it. I mean, because
you're all
this
orphans
is funny,
now.
But it's not funny, but it's interesting. Is that the whole premise of Annie is that this little poor girl.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really fucking I'm going there, but it's gonna be really fucking horrifying. This really poor girl is temporarily adopted by a very wealthy billionaire with no background check. They're just like, here, little girl.
Did he fly anybody to an island? Did he fly anyone to an island?
I'm just saying. Maybe that's where he got the fucking idea from.
Well,
He's
you don't know.
I'm a billionaire. I can just grab random fucking poor kids from rough backgrounds. But some of the kids that Epstein abused came from well-to-do
well-to-do
families or
things.
middle America
That's how they
families
get you,
where
folks.
he was like, oh, we're gonna get them a modeling job, like especially like if you have money,
it's all alleged.
I think if you have money and you have connections, as he did, it gives you power and you're able to manipulate people, and people think that you must be on the up and up.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okie dokie, kids. I don't know if I believe that. So, yeah, I mean, just about any movie can be turned into a horror movie if you try hard enough.
Right.
We
should spin the random wheel of movies.
Like Roger Rabbit. If that rabbit was Rabbit, that would be a whole different movie. Roger Rabbit.
No, he frames people with in a frame, and like they get stuck in there and suspended animation, something like that. What about Gone with the Wind? The wind is like an evil like force that comes along and
Lisa says, okay, where's the positivity? We need some more damn positivity. Sometimes
that's
just
Wednesday.
Talking about whatever.
It's Wednesday.
Sometimes we talk about whatever. Like we kind of, if you have a topic you want to talk about, you're welcome to bring it up.
Well, I would say turning movies
not.
into horror movies is a positive, because there's a lot of horror movie fans out there. All these people out there that are watching their true crime podcasts and things, they would love that. They would love that. That's positive for them.
Lisa says, "Oh,
so
okay.
For me,
yeah, but we're usually down to at the end of the day, it's we talk about the things that we think are interesting that we want to talk about. If there's something we don't want to talk about, we just talk about it.
So what if you took a comedy? Well, you took a horror movie and made it a comedy.
Oh, you could totally do that.
Give me a comedy.
Well, first of all,
The Hangover.
There's a whole shitload of horror movies that are comedies already.
Yeah.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Hilarious. Lisa, I'm not going to argue with you.
I don't know what you want to talk about, but
no, she's bringing up yesterday.
Oh.
I'm not going there.
No.
So I'm not going to have a racist tirade with you. I'm just not doing it. So anyway, here's a question for you that is totally off topic, since we seem to need to be redirected.
Right.
Suppose for a moment that you were truly colorblind.
I'm colorblind.
All you can see is black and white, and then one day.
It's going to take a turn.
I'm just going to switch this question, right? Just can't really. I'm going to try this again in a different direction. If you could have any book instantly memorized cover to cover, which would you choose?
Oh, any book.
You're going to go with something entertaining, aren't you?
No, I think I might go with like The Laws of the Land or something like that. Like
a survival book.
Maybe, but I was thinking more like if you knew
book.
Every rule of law or whatever, like that would be amazing.
I would want to know survival stuff, which I think we should be teaching in school.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
How to grow food, plant medicine, like that kind of thing. That's what I would want to know about. What about you guys? You got anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Although you know what I would like to do is memorize like like the book what are those the birds, like the flora and the fauna. I would like to know every species of animal in the world and memorize it, and so I can look at like a bird or a cat or whatever and know where it came from.
A bird or a cat?
Well, yeah, whatever. Like an insect.
The cat.
I want to know what it is.
Somebody's fucking loose
bush,
ass cat.
Like that bush. What? Oh, that's a
hang on a second. I want to get back to. I want to know what the birds and the
macromaniac.
cats came from. I'll tell you right now. Somebody in fucking town has a cat that they don't keep in their house, and it wanders by our house all the fucking time. That's where that cat came from. And the birds, they all came down from the house at the corner of the street where they feed all the fucking birds.
Oh yeah,
that's where the cats and the birds came from. What else you want to know?
I want to know what kind of birds they are, like just by like hearing them tweet or seeing them fly across the yard on the wire.
Okay. Too bad we couldn't summons Noah to find out. Well, that's an interesting point. But I think in our neighborhood they came from irresponsible pet owners. By the way, I'm getting so we put the Ring camera on the front door because people kept showing up.
Yeah.
Unannounced. I'm not sure it's working correctly, but I keep getting notifications from Neighborhood, which is I guess like a Google app where people like talk about.
Oh yeah, I got
the
same thing. Yeah.
Oh my head. These people, everybody, like we live in a town full of the most irresponsible pet owners on the goddamn planet.
Oh, there's
Like,
always
every
birds
2
missing and
hours, they're
dogs.
like, oh, turtle. How does your
you know,
turtle get loose?
turtles. Yeah.
A turtle?
Yeah.
Like I
I found this little guy.
I get like there's fireworks
Yeah.
and like because we have fireworks arbitrarily around
Well,
here, and like your dog like gets spooked and takes off. Like I understand that,
Mm.
but like people are just irresponsible. It's 365 days a year. There's 300 lost pet notifications. It's crazy.
There's a lot of them, and in addition, there are also native turtles and tortoises and birds and things like that that people think are pets. So
well, in
Gopher tortoise
Florida, we
lives
think-
here. It's native species.
Well, I think, but that's the thing about Florida too, is that we have all these pets that people have released into the wild.
Oh, that's very
You'll
true.
even see like people's like pet bunnies like wandering around the street,
Yeah.
and you're like, did it get loose or did they just get sick of having a
It
bunny?
got too big.
You never
It was
really
eating too many carrots. Let it go.
know. Is that like the whole like idea before kids go to college, send them off to college because they're eating too much food, put them on a meal
Oh,
plan?
wait a minute. There's a horror movie right there.
What's that?
Fatal Attraction. Before she boils the bunny, guy sets the bunny free, and it goes and like spreads some virus, like to the world. There's your
That's
horror
the
movie.
very end of the movie, though.
That's
Like
your
I think it's first of all, I think Fatal Attraction is already a horror movie.
John's here tonight. What's up, John?
John?
John did not make a comment. He
Oh, he's just there.
he just like somehow appeared with no comment.
He's very fancy.
Well,
it's
he's a man of very few
it's
words.
that magic.
He's got a presence.
Well, he does have a presence. I
Yeah.
like John's presence. He's a good guy, and I like his fiance even more.
Mm.
Shout out to Val. She hasn't watched the pod in a while. We probably horrified her. All right. So hey,
Bring it.
give hugs to everybody for
Yeah,
us
John.
over on the East Coast because we don't go there.
On the
It's too-
Eastie.
It's too far. Although I think we have to go soon.
We're afraid.
What? While is this coming to visit? We have to go.
Yeah,
over
we'll
there?
be over there eventually. Yeah, yeah.
Are you gonna do another $5 project? I'm never letting him hear the end of that.
My friend
By
sent
the
me a
way-
project
Ooh.
on Christmas Eve for $5, and
Ooh.
he's like, "I'll pay you $5." So I got the $5.
Didn't want them. It's like kind of insulting, but it's funny because he had talked about how he wouldn't want to be a customer service rep to deal with me, and I texted him,
Mm.
Do you smell burning plastic? I smell burning plastic.
I smell something.
There's burning plastic. Just go check inside the house, maybe.
Oh, I do smell. I wonder if it's the lights.
The lights seem to be. Guys, bear with us for a second. Our house might be burning down. It smells like melting plastic.
Yeah, it's definitely stronger in here.
So it's something outside. Do you think it's whatever the?
Well, it could be whatever those fire people were going to
Well, if you see any flames shooting up behind us, let us know.
We one day when I lived back in Walpole, heard all these sirens, and then I started smelling like wood flames. Yeah, the same thing. So but I could smell it.
Did you poke your head in the
As
garage?
No, but in there's no smell in there.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, it's somewhere out here.
Lisa said maybe it's a fire where all the
Yeah,
sirens are
it
coming from.
could
It's
be.
a very real possibility.
It was close by.
I don't know why it did that, but
okay.
God, it's a strong smell.
Yeah, it's not my computer, is it? Yeah, no,
Better
it's
not be.
nothing.
All right. Through use of a time machine, you're traveling back to the year 1850. You may take with you one and only one product or invention from the
yeah.
modern era. What would you take? Oh, this is such an easy one. What would
what
you take
date?
with you to impress and awe our forebears?
What date is it?
1850.
1850.
You're gonna take a fucking phone with you. The phone, like their minds would be fucking.
Yeah, but you're not
blown.
going to have any service in 1800.
You're not gonna have any. First of all, there's all kinds of shit that you have saved to your phone. You don't have to have signal.
You know what I'm bringing back to the 1800s?
I'm afraid to ask.
I'm bringing a Chinook helicopter, and they're going to be like, "What the fuck is that thing?"
Yeah.
And then,
How are you even gonna fit that in your suit?
then I'm going to leave it with the North, so that when they have a war in 1860, they can have a Chinook
Well, but you realize-
helicopter,
okay, here-
and they're
but-
not going to have
but hang
half
on,
the
it's
problem that they did.
1860. You bring back a Chinook helicopter or an iPhone.
Yeah,
You bring back well, here's the thing that's cool about an iPhone. You could download like all kinds of shit to your phone, right? Especially text and books and all that stuff.
yeah, right.
And
You could
so you could be like, okay, so here, this is I
jump
came-
in Jehovah's
First of all, I came
it's a
from the-
bar of soap
I
with the
came-
lights up.
I came from. Can you take that? I can't.
Oh,
I lost my
sorry.
cursor.
Yeah.
Sorry. And Lisa says. Computer sniffing. Ha ha ha. Yeah, he sniffs other things all the time, but today was computers. But I'm saying that like you have to just you have to tread very carefully when you time travel.
Right.
Because you just like, first of all, what the fuck does a time machine look like? Are you teleported? Is it like?
That's why I'm bringing
is there
my
a phone
own.
booth like Circa Bill and Ted's? Like, do you have to? Is it even an option to time travel anymore? Since phone bills seem to be at scarcity. By the way, we found one in Key West at Pepe's.
At what?
Pepe's had a phone booth.
Oh, they had a phone booth. Yeah.
I don't know how you. I don't really know how you do that. What I do know is that when you get there, you got to walk gingerly because they may fucking burn you at the stake.
Well, here's the thing.
You're a witch.
You got to bring something that would like that. People they've never seen a flying machine. They never.
But I don't like. I feel like if you bring an iPhone, right, or an iPad or whatever, and you have a bunch of
yeah.
Okay, so listen.
Ooh.
Hi, it's nice to meet.
Ooh, it's
First
a telephone, which hasn't been invented
and
yet.
And you're dressed like this, or like maybe you're dressed like a normal person. You're gonna stand the fuck out.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, "Hi, yeah, no, I'm from another place." Get to know them.
Across the pond.
Blend in as best you can. Find some open-minded people. Perhaps there's like I don't know what the 1800s version of a podcast was, but like the town crier.
Hear
you
ye,
a few
hear
cocktails
ye.
And you say, yeah, so I have this device that I was given and it does blah, 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 blah. And it has all
It's
this
the history of the world
information in it. But then your battery dies and you're fucked.
Exactly. Then
you
got to go see Doc Brown.
Here-
and then you got to get the
problem.
lightning to strike the clock tower.
Was that 1840? Was that before?
1850.
1850. So when was electricity invented?
Not till, well, it was always a thing, but they didn't know what to do with it until late in the 1800s.
Around 600 BC, Thales the Greek went on. When amber was rubbed with silk, it became electrically charged and attracted to objects. He originally discovered static electricity. Huh. Charles Brush, United States, invented the open coil dynamo or generator that could produce a steady current of electricity.
All right, so that's 1870.
That still is getting worse.
Yeah.
I'm concerned. So is somebody's Tesla on fire?
Could be.
I think a Tesla might be on fire.
So here's all right. So they haven't seen electricity. They haven't seen plumbing. They haven't seen they would have had some sort of plumbing or water. But they would not have seen a flying machine, an automobile.
So 1752. Franklin with the key.
I'm just gonna look around and make sure I don't see anything on fire.
Just check the garage. Yeah. I know you said it didn't smell inside, but just check the garage. Our house might be burning down. You never know. Yeah, so the Puritans wouldn't put up with diversity. Why do you have to go there? I don't understand it. If we're going to turn this into like a negative racial thing, I'm just going to block you. Like, I'm not doing that. We like everybody. The electricity was invented. You've got your phone. You've gone forward in time. I don't know that there's a way to charge it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Ben Franklin key thing.
You'd have to collect some electric eels.
Maybe. But you just want to be able to charge it. So you'd basically have like I don't know that a phone.
I might go back in a DeLorean.
Don't go back in a DeLorean. They're going to shoot at you. You don't understand. Didn't you? And I don't remember much about Back to the Future 3, but that's the one where they went to the Western world.
Was that 3? Yeah.
And they got shot at.
Yeah.
Because it's a car. They don't know what the fuck that is. People don't like like new things.
But it would, if you want to awe somebody, you blow them away with something like a stealth bomber or something. You come in,
show them something cool. But I mean, like a stealth. Why am I going to show them a stealth bomber? Like, what benefit do they have from learning about a stealth bomber? If it were up to me, there would be no stealth bombers ever. Like,
I don't know. I think there's plenty of things that you could bring.
Anne chimes in. Hey, Anne, I'm so glad you're here. She says, thank you, Stacy. Blocking may be the best thing. So if we get there, we had a little chat while you were gone.
I was sniffing the house.
Something is like,
something afoot.
Smells like
something afoot.
Plastic melting. Should we check on our neighbor friends?
I looked around. I didn't see nothing was on fire.
Smell. If you could have 50 pounds. If we're going back in time.
Yes.
We want to bring something that's going to bring value to those people.
Yep. Right.
And not get us killed. I don't feel like a stealth bomber or a DeLorean
let's see.
is the way to go. I mean, I think the time machine alone, you could give like little trips. Like, hey, do you want to come for a trip in my time machine? Do you have some gold? Thank you. I will.
You
take
know what
your
you
gold.
should bring? Like some piece of medical device, like a MRI machine or something.
I disagree with you.
Or something like something that would help.
Yeah, like let's give a bunch of people fucking 9 kinds of cancer.
Yeah.
With MRI, like I don't think that that's the answer either. I think that like what we should give people is maybe some. You can't bring an iPad or a phone back if you don't have a way to charge it. You could bring. Okay, here's what you do. You bring your iPhone with a solar charger.
Oh.
There you go. And then you have
because they had the sun back then.
All your books downloaded. You can have like the decline of society, you know, like show like Kardashians. And before you know it, they're like, wow, everything's falling the fuck apart.
But here's the thing, like you can't even go to Vegas because Vegas didn't even exist yet. You can't even go to Vegas and bet on, you know, the Red Sox to win the World Series or whatever. You know, there's a lot of stuff that you would typically do if you had a time machine, but not that. So
here's another one for you.
All right, Brant.
If you could have 50 pounds of anything other than money, what would you want?
50 pounds.
Other than money, gold.
Well, that's like money.
Yeah, well, they just said
diamonds.
Money. I mean, diamonds. Yeah, 50 pounds of diamonds will take you pretty far.
Caviar.
But again, not
cheese. I would have 50 pounds
of
cheese.
50 pounds of caviar is going to go by the fucking wayside very quickly.
That's very
you can't
true.
possibly eat 50 pounds of caviar. And I know we've been watching retro episodes of Pressure Luck, but they gave away 40 pounds of caviar. Like, what the fuck are you going to do with 40 pounds of caviar?
Yeah. I don't know what to do with that.
I'm
what is
good
it, 50 pounds of something?
Like if you're like aggressively eating caviar, maybe you can get a cup down. Like if you're aggressively eating
I don't
caviar.
know about a cup. Ooh.
If you have like
I gotta sit there and eat
fresh,
a bowl
crackers,
of caviar.
Like no, but I mean like if you're snacking out on caviar, yeah, you could probably put down a cup, but 40 fucking pounds? I don't know enough people that I could invite over and have 40 fucking pounds of caviar, but what the fuck do I know?
50 pounds of something like there's a lot of stuff that's valuable by weight.
You know what I want?
Enriched uranium.
You know what I want? 50 pounds of fucking happiness.
How about 50 pounds of love?
50 pounds of love is way more than I can handle. Thank you very much.
That sounds like a good old like soul song. 50 pounds.
I don't know. I guess about 8 ounces is about all I can take.
8 ounces of love.
I mean, how do you convert inches to ounces in dick size?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Stacy, all the comments are gone. Has someone left the podcast? She irritated me last night when she started doing it again tonight. Am I the only one who noticed? I don't know if she's gone because we're not looking at the YouTube page. But it's definitely not something we were comfortable with. And we just weren't comfortable with that line of conversation. I don't think anybody was. I don't know what her goal was. But you know, it's too bad because when she wasn't awful, she was interesting. So I wish her nothing but peace, love, and happiness. And she may have blocked us before we could block her on the YouTube. But we're gonna move on.
We're moving.
I'm not here to argue with people. We're trying to bring people together.
And Jen, I say quoi to America.
Listen, if we can come together, we don't agree about shit.
Oh.
We can bring the rest of y'all together too.
Hence the term marital hate. Oh, I'm looking at my phone. John Videra actually gave us a little gift.
Little Santa gift.
He gave us a little dancing Santa. We couldn't see that on our page, John. So
if you could be anywhere in the world for New Year's Eve this year, where would you most want to be? I'll tell you right now.
Home.
Yeah. Fuck going out on New Year's. Do you guys go out on New Year's? What do you do? What do normal people do?
Unless you stayed at like you were at a resort or something, like something like that.
If I were going to go somewhere on New Year's, like go somewhere, like if we were staying at like a nice resort.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I would go to Disney for New Year's.
Oh, Disney dude, that would be fun.
I would go to Disney for New Year's. But
it's kind of like New Year's every night. There's fireworks.
New Year? Were we in Disney for New Year's?
No.
With the kids years ago. We left right before New Year's because I think we were going to see the Jim Jones review, but we never got there.
Ooh.
That's
right.
New York. The thing about I would go to Disney. I would want a room with a view, of the fireworks, or like any nice hotel where
Yeah.
like you can get a good meal in the hotel and see fireworks. I think would be cool. But I want to see fireworks from my room. I want to be in my pajamas. I don't want to interact. I love you guys, but I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to interact with people. I don't want to deal with crowds. I don't want to deal with drinking. Maybe I'm just getting fucking old, but I like to stay in, make my vision board.
Oh, if you had like your closest friends and you went to like a resort or something cool, or like
but I like to.
or Disney
You
or
know what
whatever.
I like to do.
Yeah.
I like to make my vision board. I like to make my
that's your
plans
thing.
for the year.
Yep.
Like I like to dial it in. I like to think about where I've been and where I'm going.
I like to get a
That's my
gym
thing.
membership and never go and cancel it in February.
We're not that kind of people. We're just not. We're just not that kind of people. What is the greatest lesson of life you have ever learned?
Don't be a clod all your life.
That was your dad, right? He used to tell you that all the time.
Well,
Don't be a
and
clod.
that reciprocity.
But you tend to be a clod.
You know, I'm wondering if that smell was that electric car that was sitting over there.
Dude, I don't know
On
what
fire.
the fuck is going on. It smells a lot.
Yes, I think it might be getting a little
somebody
better.
watched the news, or I could post on the
That's why I
residence page.
opened my phone. I was trying to see if the Cape
So,
Coral page.
Our
had
town
what's
has
on.
like a residence page, but if you post in the residence page, the admin has to approve it.
Yeah.
I call bullshit. It's actually, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it's actually somehow worse than Situate Monthly. Just saying a lot.
I used to love when the town we lived in Massachusetts had like their little police blotter. They're so good. They show up on my memories on Facebook. Like, some woman reported that there was a flaming bag of dog poop on her front porch. So it was very funny.
Well, it's it happens.
Caller called in, heard this loud ruckus. Turned out it was Bruce Springsteen at the Gillette Stadium.
Oh, that must have been Wobble. Stacy, I like staying home on New Year's Eve. Also, it's not a big deal to me to party and go outside.
It's sweet to celebrate with only one other person.
I agree with you. It's sweet to celebrate with one other person. I can't tell you how many things New Year's Eves I've spent just like by myself, and Doug does his thing. Like he's not really down with like the planning for the future. So, we hang out, he falls asleep at midnight. Like maybe
because I'm old.
We acknowledge each other. I don't know.
We're
gonna do a pod on New Year's Eve, but we're not fucking staying.
Yeah,
up
we're not
till
doing it at
midnight. Fuck
midnight.
that. We'll do like
we're gonna do a faux midnight.
We'll do like a countdown to midnight at like 9:00
in the Azores.
for all the people that go to sleep early. We'll be like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Happy New Year! You can go get some more sleep.
Yeah.
Instead of fucking staying up till midnight.
We can save everybody a lot of aggravation.
As a matter of fact, Nolan's coming soon, and he stays up late, and we are fucked up for weeks after.
Yeah.
I,
right. Yeah, because we did go. I was like 8:30. It's like, are we going out? And I'm like, okay, we'll go out.
Oh,
and then we went out. We had a blast. So it was.
We did. We had a great time, but it's just that we're old. We go to bed early. I'm so between like I haven't been feeling well. We've been overdoing it, a lot of stress, and then trying to get back on schedule. Like And my hot ass neighbor down the street that I was driving to work. I haven't been able to drive her, and I don't even know how long. And I think I need to just take it off my plate entirely.
Yeah.
Because I've been stressing about it a lot.
Yeah.
Who knows? Okay. Some are high, some are low, some are long, some are short, some are old, some are new. In all your travels, what is the most awe-inspiring bridge that you have ever crossed?
Bridge.
I gotta tell you. I fucking love the Sanibel Bridge. It's absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend it. You should go and drive over it. But what I would tell you to do is my favorite bridge is the suspension bridge on the Boston Common, which is the world's smallest suspension bridge, because that's where my husband proposed to me. So that's my favorite bridge.
She was working the bridge.
That's not working the bridge. Donna says 7 Mile Bridge in the Keys. We just drove over it. I like the Sanibel Bridge better.
I also I thought you were going to say the bridge that you went over with your grandfather every day going to school.
The Brightman Street Bridge. No longer.
I have a couple of ideas on this one.
All right.
I think yours was my first. The suspension bridge in the Boston Common or Boston Garden.
The Boston Common, not the Boston Garden.
It's the Boston Public Gardens.
It is the Public Gardens, yes. But you said the Boston Garden.
Yeah, the Boston Garden.
There's no bridge at the Boston Garden. I mean, I guess like into to the parking lot there.
When you say awe-inspiring, it's got to be like this magnificent thing. But I do remember.
Not necessarily. Wasn't proposing to me awe-inspiring to you?
You were awe-inspiring.
Well, I will tell you this: the pond was like completely drained, and there's all these ducks just sitting there in the mud,
what
going
the hell?
quack 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 quack.
Yeah,
quack, and it was cold as
It was
balls.
very cold.
So
It was
cold. I'm like,
February.
all right, this proposal is great and everything, but can we go warm up, please?
Yeah, let's go
Thank you.
warm up at the Ritz.
We did not warm up at the Ritz.
Or whatever that. Yeah, that was the Ritz, wasn't it? Over there. Didn't we go to the bar at the Ritz or something?
We went to some restaurant
then we
and
went to
got
some
a drink, and then we met up with Liz
it
and
was at the
Pete,
Ritz.
and then we went to dinner. I don't know that it was the Ritz, but maybe it was. Anne says that it's beautiful, but I imagine rough with high winds. We were over it the other day with high winds, and it was catching.
was
like
a little
I was
much.
getting a little
Yeah,
of this,
yeah, it was
and
a
I had my
little-
hair down. If
you
I
have to
had my hair up, it would have been knocking me
Yeah.
over because my hair it catches
Yep.
the wind.
We didn't lose anybody though.
Anne says, "Isn't that the tiny lake where the swan boats go?" It
Yeah,
is. That's the tiny lake where the swan boats go. Donna says, "How about Chuck's Landing Bridge in Boston? Charles Stewart killed his wife and jumped off the bridge because he knew he was caught. Now everyone calls it Chuck's Landing
Now,
Bridge."
subject of
that.
a new Netflix or Hulu
Is that the guy
documentary.
that killed his pregnant wife
Yeah,
and blamed it
yeah,
on
yeah,
like a
blamed
black
it,
guy?
yeah.
He was like, "Oh, some black guy."
Oh my God. I remember I was in Boston at the time, and there were police officers on every corner. And like I went to college in that neighborhood where they said it happened, which was like just down the street from like the Brigham or wherever, where they were supposedly taking the
Wait,
birthing
here, I
class
think
or
I was in
something.
high school when that
It
happened.
was 89.
What was his name?
It was 89. Chuck Stewart. Anyway, there's a lot of bridges. I think of yeah, there's a lot of bridges that like kind of stick out in my memory, but one of which is the bridge over the Hudson River.
Apparently, there's more than one Chuck Stewart because there's Chuck Stewart. There was a photographer.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyways, it was always a big deal when we drove from New York to Massachusetts to go over the Hudson River on one of those old iron bridges. I also remember a bridge over the Erie Canal that was down the street from our house, and it had like almost like a waffle grate for the bottom. So you were looking down like another like 20, 50 feet at the canal as you were on this bridge, wind whipping. I remember that. The Sanibel Bridge is fantastic. The Duxbury Beach Bridge.
Oh, the wooden
is
Duxbury
nice.
Beach Bridge is so nice.
Yeah.
Anne says, "I love that little bridge. It's commonly photographed." Yeah, it is. And Donna says he's all over the news again. Well, so of course now we're down the rabbit hole.
So all right. So I
89.
I remember that cover of the Herald.
But
and
I remember that as well. But this
yeah.
is where it gets crazy. So like, it's really common for men to murder their pregnant wives,
Is it?
girlfriends. It's a
Okay.
yeah. It's
Oh,
a fairly,
then that's-
Trace. Are you here? What's the
she would know.
statistics? What percentage or how many pregnant women are murdered by their partners? Yeah, my fucking Google history is grim as shit.
Not gonna do that.
But apparently it was like a big thing. Homicide rate for this is just National Institute for Health, I guess, which not necessarily an organization I always agree with, but deaths occur among women who are pregnant or had been pregnant with 1 year rose during the COVID pandemic. In 2020, the risk of homicide was 35% higher for pregnant or postpartum women compared to women of reproductive age who were not pregnant or postpartum. So that's just as it results to COVID. But homicide is one of the leading causes of death among pregnant and postpartum individuals in the United States. That's fucking crazy. So this guy, but when you think about that, you think of like somebody who's like, they got pregnant accidentally, or like the mistress got pregnant or some sort of controversy. So when you look at this, he was the general manager at an upscale fur clothing place on Newbury Street.
Yep.
And
he borrowed the gun from there.
She was a fucking she was a tax attorney.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were hurting financially.
No. This thing was just bad all over the place. And the brother like helped with the evidence and all this stuff. It was like the brother I don't think ever got charged or something. But it caused a big.
Was his brother involved in it?
Yeah, his brother either came and got the gun or something. All this stuff. So and Donna says he had a girlfriend at the time. But I remember them pulling him out and putting him on the rowboat after he jumped off that bridge like a coward.
See, I missed all of that. Did he actually die?
Yeah, he died. Jumped off the top of the
Because 1989, I hate to tell you,
you were like
I was in 8th grade or 7th grade,
Yeah.
depending on when the time of year it was.
Yeah.
It was December, correct?
Yeah.
So October 23rd, 1989. I was in 9th grade.
Yeah.
So it was.
And they arrested Willie Bennett for it. He worked at he was an ex-con that worked at a video rental place in Brookline, and I would drive by that place. You know, like I was all over. It was nerve-wracking because it was like, oh my God, this could happen to any of us, whatever. And then like it just and none of it was true.
Something that's really interesting about Boston is it's a small town. Like it's if you haven't spent any time in Boston, we love it. It's home. Of course, we don't particularly, I don't need to be in the city every day, but Boston's home. It's a very small town. You can be drunk off your ass and walk from one end of the city to the others. If you're a local, you can even do it on the cobbles.
Well, now you don't. You just get an Uber and.
No, but everybody's had to walk from one end of town to the other. You go on, you've had too much to drink. You start walking toward the water. You're at Bellingham, and before you know it, you're at Seaport. It happens. But it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. Like you'll have like a friend from another town and you just happen to be in Boston. You're like, they could be from out of state. You're going to run into them downtown. It's so weird. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've ran into the most random people in Boston.
Randos.
Because it's a small town. But like, if you've followed the Boston Marathon bombings at all, you'll know that we had terrorists in our city and we shut the whole fucking city down until the motherfuckers were caught.
And found them.
Like some poor guy is like, we were at the Cheesecake Factory.
We were. That was
the television.
Guy
calls in. He's like, I'm pretty sure there's a terrorist in my boat. He's got his boat shrink wrapped for the winter. And there's a goddamn terrorist, and they had a police standoff for I don't even know how long it was. And they finally took him into custody, and he's still in jail, right, Tsarnaev?
Yeah.
He's
So the whole restaurant. Well, actually, we were in the mall and we were around this one TV somewhere, and then we went. TVs. Yeah, then we went. Then we went to Cheesecake Factory, and everybody just was watching
glued to the television, and then everybody cheered when they caught him. And it was a big deal. But here's the thing. I mean, I think it's great that there's so many dedicated officers in the city of Boston. But I think like we don't fuck around. Like you fuck with our city, you fuck with our people. It's not cool. But I think at the same time, there are people across the country that have been wrongfully prosecuted throughout time, and DNA evidence has later cleared them. Mm-hmm. So of course, I just said that like Boston, we don't fuck around when it comes to crime, but yet Whitey Bulger was running all over the country for years, but that was federal.
Hey, he was informing the FBI. Leave him alone.
Well, there you go. But that, the reason I don't believe in the death penalty is one, it's, and I know that one of the families, that were some of the families that were victim to the Marathon bombings were opposed to Tsarnaev getting the death penalty. And the reason why, I understand it is because one, I mean, obviously in that case, like everybody knew who it was, like whatever, but like people are wrongfully prosecuted, but moreover for the families. So now this person gets appeal upon appeal upon appeal upon appeal to, lift the death penalty. So now we've got the taxpayers' money, time of the court system, and then of course it's an open wound for the family over and over again, which I think it is anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Like I don't think that you ever get over losing a loved one, especially a child. But in
the dawn of life.
Yeah, you just don't. But that's why I don't believe in the death penalty. And I did at one point. I changed my stance on a lot of things.
Death penalty.
That's why you got to have an open mind. You got to have,
a little bit. The thing is, I think.
Is there a circumstance in which you believe in the death penalty?
I'm sure if I knew somebody that got killed, I would want the death penalty.
Yeah, but that's like a reactionary.
Yeah. Do I think? Potentially. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of. I definitely was way for it, and then when I had children, I'm like, well, nobody has the right to take away, like, because that's a miracle. It's that's like something.
But my thing is like, if you're like, prison is not a nice place. You're not like going, like, it's not like you're going there for a party. And if you are someone who does horrific things, like the things that you and I would want to murder someone for, like being a child molester, prison's not going to be a good time for you.
Well, Donna says, I think the death penalty should be carried out by the families. Now, here's the thing. Because, like you're not that prisoner, even if they are put to death, they're not suffering that fear or whatever that their loved one went through.
Well, and I mean, I think that there's like, I actually know someone who killed someone by mistake. She was driving on a dark road, hit someone, they died. She has to live with that for the rest of it. It was an accident, by the way. But
nobody's going to give you the death penalty for that.
No, but my point is that she has to live with that for the rest of her life.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And there's people out there with absolutely no conscience, and they have to carry that with them for the rest of their lives. If they have no conscience, there's really not anything you can do about it. And it's funny because I think about stuff like, oh, if I went to prison, I just off myself, eat slop food every day. Don't get me wrong. Good for you if you've survived the prison experience, but I wouldn't last 5 minutes, at least unless Donna was there to protect me. But it's not even that. It's even now, I want to die. I don't want to suffer anymore. And for me, and I get the whole Buddhist, all of life is suffering, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I just, I just wouldn't want to go through that.
No.
Especially life in prison. Give me the fucking death penalty. And then we do the death penalty, by the way we do it costs a fortune as opposed to the 50 cents for a bullet, although bullets are kind of expensive today. Ann says that's legitimately a good question, Stacey. Is it really going to matter? They're dead and the family of the descendant has to still live in pain.
Well, and the other thing too is if you're killing somebody that's in for life, I mean, their life is essentially over as they knew it. So it's not really it's never going to be a fair trade-off. I'm not sure I understand what Ann was saying though. It was a good question, Stacey. Is it really going to matter? They're dead and the family of the descendant still has to live with the pain. But I'm not I think she has a good point, but I don't really I think she's agreeing with you.
But I don't really understand what she's trying to say. So if you want to clarify, please do.
It's just the wording.
I'm not necessarily picking up what you're putting down. But the point is, let's all just be let's love each other. Let's come from a place of kindness. Let's come together. Let's unite people. And let me just tell you something right now. And I'm going to make this crystal clear because I think we have to. There's somebody on the podcast recently, and they were here again tonight. I believe they have unfollowed us and probably blocked us, where they were just bringing this to a place that we did not want to be. And it's our podcast. And so while we want you to interact with us and we appreciate your comments and your feedback, we're here to bring people together and to laugh and have a good time. And yeah, sometimes we'll have a heated discussion, but there's some shit that we're just not going to fucking tolerate. And, we'll just make that
intolerance
crystal clear to people because that was
intolerance
not
is something
cool.
that we don't tolerate. So Ann clarifies, the family of the dead one will never get over the loss, and I can't imagine the killer being dead is going to help in any way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree with you completely. Yes. Babe Ruth, James Dean, Elvis Presley. If you could be back any deceased superstar for one final performance in their respective field, who would it be?
Sam Cooke.
You had to pick one of the. Oh, it's anyone.
Oh no, I don't know. But you.
Yeah, if you could bring back any deceased superstar for one final I'm going Mr. Rogers. I bring him back to do this podcast.
Hey, boys and girls.
We can't say racist shit on the podcast because we're not in support of that. If you had to rearrange the letters of your first name to give yourself a new name, what would it be? Stacey, I don't even know what that yucks. Yucks.
Donna says, I want to pop in and say hi when you saw the bridge thing. Long week on beat. Go take care of yourself.
Yeah, take care
of
yourself.
You survived the
I guess you
technically survived
yourself.
the holidays. We have another holiday in a couple days.
Is bad for your health.
Yeah, Donna, don't stay.
We're always thinking of you. We love you very much. Get some rest. Although she's usually a night owl.
We bring Donna joy. I think.
I like to think so.
Donna brings us joy.
Fuck! It's already 9:30.
I had to sweep my own floor for Christ's sake, Donna.
It's already fucking 9:30. How did that happen?
I don't know.
Well, I just want to tell y'all once again, we truly appreciate your support on the podcast. We love that there's a group of people from all, walks of life that comes together. And, some of you are here for the live show. Some of you are here night after night. I can't thank you enough. Some of you comment. I can't thank you enough. And yeah, and we appreciate you. We look forward to we look forward to doing this. Sometimes we're a little tired, we don't want to do it, but once we get going, suddenly we look up and it's fucking 9:20.
Yeah.
So let's just do our a quick. What are you doing?
I was just gonna.
You're looking
What is that
for
noise?
something. Sprinklers.
It's not sprinkler day. That's an
Those
animal.
are other people's sprinklers.
Oh. That sounded like an animal to me.
There's
That
no
definitely-
animal. Donna says horror days. It was good though.
Horror days. Donna, you had a vacation in Florida. And yeah,
Well, the holidays are hard for
you had
people.
burgers. It was
The
all good.
holidays
Yeah,
are
no,
hard for
I
people
know.
that have
They
lost
are
loved
they are
ones.
hard. They
So
are hard.
I do want to end on a positive.
Positive
and I
notes.
want to thank Tracy, David, Gary. I'd like to thank Lisa for exiting stage left. John, I like your little dancing Santa, but if you could put on a Santa outfit and do a little dance for us, we would really like that. Anne, we're glad you're here. Donna, we're glad you're here. And I always
Dave, yeah.
if you guys, if somebody is like out of line on the pod and offending you, let us know. We respect your opinion. We really appreciate you guys watching and supporting the podcast. I am thankful for you. I'm thankful that you went to the post office today because I did not have that in me. I need to chase down the fucking accountant again because it's now the 27th, although we have till January 25th to get that out. What else?
I'm thankful you're handling that kind of stuff because numbers make my eyes glaze over. And I was thankful for the dinner we had was very good. I had a little carne asada from Trader Joe's with a little what was it? Rice cauliflower
rice
and a little
mango salsa,
and it was and some black beans. It was delicioso.
It's the first time we've had vegetables in a while. And I'm grateful that you had your little lizard party.
Oh, we had a lizard party today. Yeah.
Doug came out. There was 2 little lizards.
I think they were on the strip of the lanai, back to back, so their tails were like almost touching. So I took a picture of them. But then later I saw them cavorting around. I think they're a little husband and wife lizard.
Okay.
And I think they live here now. So
you think they're married or you think they're shacking out?
Well, I don't know if there's any ceremony for these lizards, but I'm sure whatever civil union that they have is enough for them.
Well, whatever they do is not for us to judge. I would like to say that tonight is a full moon. So if you have noticed that the crazies are out.
The crazies. Actually, wasn't the full moon last night? Or is it?
I think it's both. I don't know. It goes forever. But there's been the crazies out. And I will say that it's funny because I was talking to 2 of my favorite gays today.
Yes.
And they were having a similar issue. And I gave them the exact same piece of advice. And I joked with my 2 gays that they were all synced up.
The gays are syncing.
And Trace was one of my gays. And she said it's the full moon.
Moon.
So your gays
all kinds of. There's something in retrograde. I don't know what it was.
No, well, I don't. It's not retrograde is a different thing than the full moon. But it was supposed to be the last full moon of the year. It's called a cold moon, and so for people with chronic illnesses, that can be a flare time. Anybody who has parasites, that can be a flare time. So it's challenging. So I'm thankful that I got through today. I'm thankful that I finally watched the finale of Grace and Frankie. I can't believe how fucking Frankie I am. You get an itch there?
Is that
you have an itch on your penis?
I did, if you must know.
That's scratching his dick.
Well, I'm in my pajamas, so it's like this kind of like looseness going on.
They can't see down there. A looseness down there?
I don't know, when you have just your pajamas on, you're
all
a little commando down there.
Okay. Well, he has pants on, by the way.
So anyway, all right. So Grace and Frankie, that was the end of the show forever?
Yeah, forever. It's off.
Did somebody die?
No. They did die, but then they didn't die.
Oh.
But I did not like Raquel Welch's hair the last season. Ooh,
Raquel Welch?
Isn't that her name?
No, that's
Jane Fonda.
Yeah, the last season they did not do a good. Yeah. Raquel Welch, on the other hand, is dead. But she made a fortune marketing wigs. So when you talk about wigs and
I'm thinking about getting the Raquel Welch. The problem with my hair is no wig is fitting over this nonsense.
No wig.
It's not happening. All right. Well, do you have anything you're thankful for today?
I'm thankful I got some good work done today, and I was thankful that I had a little add a little jaunt to the thing. Yeah, no, I was thankful to get stuff done. I mean, it was yeah.
It's always good.
That's
I'm thinking, you know what I'm thankful for? The boys got their TSA pre-check today. So
that's
they
right.
could slide.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know why I'm so excited about that, but that like makes me feel like
so for 5
they've
years,
made it.
they get to kind of cruise
Yeah.
through security. If you want to cruise through security, if you're a frequent traveler, a lot of your major credit cards actually cover it. We have a credit card, our Chase Sapphire Reserve card actually covers it. If you want one, I can give you a link and it'll give you a bunch of points. But the Chase Sapphire Rewards card covers it, and the Chase Sapphire Rewards covers it. A lot of other credit cards do cover it, but you have to be the card holder. They're not card holders, so we paid for them to get it, and it was their Christmas gift. We also got them some pillows from Rugworthy,
Yeah.
and we got them some light up bulbs and a big Costco order, which I think that they were very happy with. It's probably the year that we spent the most on the kids, to be honest with you. But
Yeah,
and then we sent them to
it was all
Chipotle
fun.
today, but they went and did it. Like they went
Yeah.
to Staples,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
got
yeah.
their little
They did their thing.
interviews. They were fine.
Oh yeah, I
So-
forgot it was yeah. But yeah, they did a good job. But I just think it's cool because it's like it's almost like being in first class. Like
Almost.
you've got something.
But sometimes
know.
you have to watch the line. So like each airport has different
Right,
things
yeah, yeah.
depending where you fly. Like if you flying out of Fort Myers, like don't worry about shit.
Yeah,
That
you know,
airport,
yeah,
it's like
you got nothing. You know,
you just walk on the plane basically. I mean, there's
Oh,
like
good,
there's a
good
guy,
afternoon,
like,
sir.
he's
Would
like,
you
okay,
like a-
cool.
would
Like
you
the
like a
shit
foot
that I
rub?
could get on a plane in Fort Myers versus the shit I could get on a plane in Boston were two completely different things. Like Fort Myers is like, cool, you have a
No,
suitcase.
don't say that because then somebody.
Whereas
do
Boston
bad.
was like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but you appear to have some cocaine on your lip. I had a jelly donut. I didn't really have
No,
a jelly
she
donut,
didn't
but
have it, yeah.
they really
But
are
they did
far,
check a
they're
bunch of
very
your
very
stuff,
thorough,
yeah.
and understandably they're
Yeah.
thorough in Boston because
Well.
9/11, you know. But
9/11, you know.
well, they flew
Yeah,
out
you
of
know,
Boston.
no,
I don't know if
you
you're
know.
aware of this. They flew out of Boston. And well, a lot of people are oblivious to these things. Remember when Sean visited, he had no idea about like the marathon bombings. I'm like,
No idea.
really? And then
It was kind of a big deal. Well, I mean,
and he came the year, it was like the year after.
or that year, yeah.
It was
probably.
no, it was the year after, and he was like flying out of Boston. He's like on that day, and I'm like, yeah, that's because it's crowded because of the Boston Marathon. The what?
Oh right, yeah.
And
You
I'm
didn't know.
like,
You didn't even know about the marathon.
Yeah. So what was I going with this?
I don't know, but we
Marathon?
were just wrapping up.
Yeah,
We were
well,
talking-
I guess we're wrapped up, but
Yeah.
I always like to do the gratitude, and I always feel like
Gratitude?
you're always just kind of like,
yeah, I don't know.
I'm grateful.
I'm
Like I want
grateful.
you to put your heart and soul into it, because when you're grateful, you bring more things to yourself. When you appreciate what you have, more comes to you. So I
Yes.
just try to be as grateful as
Well,
possible.
it's funny though. Like I start at the rock bottom. I'm thankful for
Don't.
food and so.
Start with the things that you're thankful for today.
Uh,
Start with the things that you're like, obviously like the people who support us,
Yeah.
one another,
Titties.
good food. Yeah, Doug is always thankful for titties. So find what you can be thankful for and focus on that. The more sad I am, or the more stressed out I am, the more I know I need to focus on my gratitude. The more I need to practice on my mindfulness. The more busy I am. If you don't have time you need to meditate every day for at least 10 minutes twice a day. And if you don't have time to meditate for an hour.
We had some beautiful sunshine today. I was thankful for that.
That's good stuff. And you get to go for a little drive, and that went
Went for a little drive.
post office was fine. Less chaotic than the other day.
About the same. About the
Really?
same number of people. I think.
People mailing out belated presents, which is funny because Nolan said he mailed us a present. It's not here
They're
yet.
not here.
So, but we appreciate the thought. The kids don't need to mail us anything. But it was very thoughtful. of them.
I mailed a big thing to Georgia, and a small thing to Massachusetts,
It's to Todd,
and it's about the same
my
price.
future husband. It costs the same thing to mail a laptop and a small item.
Small item.
I don't want to say what it is in case he's here. Surprise.
Yes.
Tracy knows what she's getting.
Yeah.
But you put some surprises in. With
Oh
the
yeah,
package.
there's a little
So
something
there's
extra.
a little surprise in there.
Yeah, nothing.
So
major.
anyway, we love all you guys. We hope you have a great night. We hope you sleep well, and we will see you soon.